opportunity to thank you, but also to remind you that this is a peaceful demonstration. So we would ask that you are loud, noisy, colourful, but please don't burn flags, okay? Let's just keep ourselves out of trouble. Don't give them any ammunition. They have enough ammunition as it is. Okay, so as you know, there are quite a few speakers here. We decided not to break at the doll and have all of our speakers here. While the crowd is assembling, I'll just let you know that we're going to try the live link up to Gaza again this week. We also have a speaker from Gaza who's here in Ireland. We've got speakers from numerous different organisations who are supporting Palestine. And you might notice that all of the speakers are wearing a black band to signify mourning for all those who've died. So most of you know why we're here. In the last less than 3 weeks, Israel has carried out its most recent assault on Gaza. An assault which has left over 800 people dead already. Now we know from UN reports that over 80% of those are civilian casualties. We know that at least 25% of those dead have been children.
Scumbags!
And we know that the indiscriminate bombing of houses, homes, hospitals, UN schools just the other day has gone on unchecked. It seems like nothing will stop the Israeli Defence Forces and the Israeli government from their endless attempt at ethnic cleansing the Palestinians. Gaza is less than the size of Dublin County. It's about the size of the greater Dublin area, and it is home to 1.8 million Palestinians. That makes it one of the most densely populated areas on earth. If you can just imagine that, imagine what it's like living there with your kids, with your family, trying to go to work every day, trying to live a normal life. But then add in the fact that all of their borders are closed. Gaza has no control over its own borders by land, sea or air. This makes Gaza effectively the world's largest open-air prison. On top of this, add the world's 4th biggest military power. A power that has white phosphorus, flechettes, F-16s, F-18s at its disposal. And watch them bombard that coastal strip endlessly for the last 3 weeks with all the weaponry it has at its disposal. This is illegal under international law. This amounts to collective punishment. And all the while, we see our politicians continue to reiterate the dominant doctrine, the dominant ideology, the dominant discourse of the oppressor. Enough is enough. Stop lying to us. We see our media. Not all of our media, and we have seen a major change in reportage in the last week, and we thank them for that. But we have seen our media continue to frame this conflict in the ideology of the oppressor by asking, did Hamas not start this with their rockets? Well, I say to them, asking if Hamas or anyone in Gaza is wrong to defend themselves, is wrong to take up their legitimate and legal right to resistance, is akin to asking a victim of rape would they not have had an easier time if they did not hit back. Ireland disgustingly and appallingly abstained from a UN vote. Calling for an investigation into Israeli war crimes in Gaza. They do not represent the will of the Irish people. They do not represent us. You, all of you here on the streets today, all of you on the streets in Galway, Cork, Belfast, every small town and village around this country and right across the world, showing solidarity with the oppressed people of Palestine. You represent people of good spirit, of good conscience and of goodwill. Charlie Flanagan does not represent us. speakers, there are a couple of things I want to remind you of. As I said, there are events going on all over the country this week and last week and next week, and we will continue to stand on the streets and do what we can until Palestine is free. There's an event tomorrow, a very sombre, very dignified event that I would like to invite you all to attend. At the Palestinian Embassy in Blackrock, we will be opening a book of condolences tomorrow and holding a vigil there from 2 until 6 p.m. We would ask people to come and sign the book of condolences and help those in Gaza who are mourning their loved ones. Lastly, before I hand you over to our very dignified speakers, I have to say, in the last couple of days, you become quite desensitized to this because you lobby, because you deal with the press, because you campaign. You become somewhat desensitized until a friend who's from Gaza but lived in Dublin, lived in Blanchardstown where I live, and was a friend to many of us here for a long, long time. He and his family lived here for a long time and are now back in Gaza. Some of you will know Zach Hania. I don't know if there's probably a few friends of his out there. The other night Zach sent me an email and I want to read it to you all. It says, "Dear friends, I am writing to you from Gaza. I hope you are all fine. I don't really know what to say or where to start. I have a lot to say, but I feel no expressions would be enough to show the injustice that the people are going through. It seems that we are given two options, either to die silently by this killing siege or to die by heavy weaponry. I think we want to have a dignified life, but if not, we would prefer to die with pride. What is really killing us is the world's powerful and their puppet regimes that are corrupt in this region. I am sure that you are following the news and you know that most of the victims are children and women, with some families losing most of their members and having to only identify them by photographs. Despite all of the evidence of the criminality of Israel, we see that the world turns a blind eye and declares that this entity has the right to defend itself, and that we in Gaza have no rights whatsoever. We are not human. We have no value. We have to be killed like sheep and make no noise. This is not going to happen. The people in Gaza, though under attack from sea, air and land, show resilience and resistance. I want to thank each and every one of you for the valued work you are doing. We here in Gaza have seen you march last Saturday, and it was really uplifting to see it from here. Please do not undervalue any little thing that you do. It all counts. I miss you all, and I really miss Dublin. My soul is torn between Gaza and Dublin. We will not forget and we will not forgive those who have supported this massacre. God bless you all. God bless our people. Please pray for our people. Kind regards, Zach in Gaza. What was so sombering is when I emailed him back and told him about the protests that have gone on in the last week. He mailed me back thanking everybody. He says, "I really miss Dublin, but the level of suffering is huge. They are criminals, but please keep up the good work." So at this point, I want to hand you over to someone who's going to tell you some of the really concrete steps that you can take to try and put an end to this situation, to use your power as activists, as concerned people, to make a difference. Mr. Martin Quigley.